This is Chris Spiker.
I'm Aaron Goldstein. We are back with Sandy Smith.
Hey, welcome.
Thanks, Chris.
We had you on last week, but there's so much to talk about.
I know, our lives are so full.
Well, yours certainly is. You know, we had this list of things we wanted to talk about, but I got to ask you about Rocket Fizz. 4 or 5 years ago, you said, I'm going to start 3-4 years ago, I'm going to start a business. I know what it is. I know where it's going to be, and it's a candy business. And I just thought, what is Sandy thinking? For one, it's retail. Did they tell you it's really hard?
Yes.
Yeah, you knew that already.
Yeah.
But this is something you really had to do.
So yeah, I've spent my whole career working for nonprofits, community organizations and such. And, you know, when I was the CEO of the Chamber especially, I think it kind of made it more kind of apparent that I'd always wanted to explore opening my own business.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really know what it was, didn't know what that would look like. I was home one day and I was watching a recording of Undercover Boss. And lo and behold, one of the episodes was Rocket Fizz. And I watched that thing and I thought, that's just seems like a really awesome concept and a really great franchise. And so I just sent a little email to the founder, the person who was Rob, who was on Undercover Boss, and he got back with me, and it just kind of exploded. I think it happened a lot faster than I thought it would. Decided, to just pursue my kind of dream that I'd had about just seeing what it would be like to have my own business and be my own boss, and at the same time bring just a really awesome store to the Antelope Valley, which I think I successfully did. Yeah.
You had some serious passion. I mean, you
Absolutely.
really, you jumped in 100+%.
Yeah. I had a lot of help too from friends. I remember you were my box guy, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I took some boxes out, a lot of cardboard.
A lot of cardboard
You
when we
created
opened.
a lot of cardboard at that opening.
Yeah.
And that stuff all disappeared.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, and I'm really proud of it. You know, I owned it for close to 3 years. My lease was coming up, and I decided to, actually I kind of looked around for some people to help me sell the business, and I said, you know, the lease is coming up in September. I want to think about putting it on the market because I had lived out my little dream. I was ready to move on and kind of go back to what I love and what I do best, and with no regrets. Then I reached out to a couple people. They said, you'll never be able to sell this store. So I went on the internet and I posted it myself, and I advertised it myself, and within a month I had a buyer. So I sold the business in June. The new buyer took over in July, and very nice people. I hope people continue to go to Rocket Fizz and get to know the new owners. They're very, very nice people.
It's a crazy business.
It's nuts. Yeah.
Candy,
But ask me anything about candy, I can. There's another skill to put on my resume right there.
How many people were working there at any one moment? You must have had about 8.
I think the highest number of employees I had at one point was 7.
Yeah.
When we left, we had 5, and they were 5 long-term employees, and which says something, you know, for you know how fun it was to work there, and I think just kind of the family that we had formed there. And they've all moved on. They've all moved on to much better opportunities, but that was kind of hard. That was probably one of the hardest things. Is once, you know, I was their rocket mom. Those were my rocket kids, and when it all kind of came to the end, I just took them all out for a really nice dinner, but we all stay in touch. They still call me Rocket Mom, and I still ask them if they're empty their trash and clean their rooms. So
what a great chapter in your life.
Yeah, like I said, no regrets.
You did it, and you got out alive.
Yeah. But you got to have that passion, right?
Now you know it more than just reading a book or talking to people at the Chamber.
I can empathize with people now instead of just sympathizing. Yeah.
And you know, in the Rocket Fizz world, you were a big deal because you showed that brand a lot.
Yeah.
You taught them things they hadn't thought of.
Yeah, I hope that that's true. I know that there are things that happen in the franchise that I'm sure that we in Antelope Valley had something to do with. One of them being the introduction of their KISS line of sodas.
How
It
about
was
that?
shortly after I introduced Rob to Gene Simmons at the Business Outlook Conference that within 6 months we had rolled out a whole line of KISS sodas. So
Yeah, because
It's
Gene
making us
needs,
a little-
he needs those endorsements.
yeah, he's got his own
Yeah,
own
now-
line of soda.
Now he's making $2 billion a year
Yeah.
instead of
So
1.9. Yeah.
yeah, so good times.
And then over at the fair, you're part of a group that is active during the livestock auction, the Barnyard Bells.
Right, so I serve on the 50th DAA at the fairgrounds. I'm also on the Joint Powers Authority, which is kind of the overarching group that oversees the boards. And formerly served on the Antelope Valley Fair Board for 9 years. And it was just going to the auction every year and seeing, you know, all the support for the kids. And then thinking about myself as a board member, you know, it just kind of occurred to me that I could probably make a little bit of a difference in supporting those kids and kind of, you know, showing support from just a personal standpoint and from a fair board
How can
standpoint.
we bring more money to the auction?
More money, more fun. How do we get more women involved again?
Yeah, so it's about fun.
So, yeah, so I called 20 of my friends, and I thought, okay, if I got 20 of my friends, and they each donated $250, we could buy a couple animals. It would be kind of cool. Well, that 20 the first year turned into 43. The following year it was like 81, and then last year it was 100. And this year, I'm sure it will be many more. So we have made much more of an impact than I ever even dreamed of when I first thought of the idea. And I think it's just such a well-oiled machine that I could easily, you know, if I'm to leave town tomorrow, it's going to sustain itself because
Right.
you've got a lot of women who have been part of the development of the group, and then just everyone loves that. They love being part of it.
And there's kind of just one event.
One event. Well, we have other secret
Well, of
events,
course,
not
yeah,
really, but
yeah.
but we'll have little get-togethers, like, you know, a little cocktail event, maybe 2 meetings before the fair.
But these were all people you knew anyway.
Well, actually, no. I
You
mean,
met some
there's
new people? Oh yeah, new money coming to the auction.
new money because you know, friends of friends, and this person's a Bell, and they know there's 2 people who want to.
Right.
So I've actually met a lot of people just through the Barnyard Bells, and a lot of kids, and I've learned a lot more about livestock, and that's something. You know, as a board member, you go to the auction, you
Yeah,
watch, and
yeah.
it's lively.
Yep.
But to feel like you're, you know, really making an impact, and especially when the kids come to you after the auction. I mean, I just had one at my house like 2 weeks ago. He said, "I'm sorry I'm so late thanking you," but he came over and brought me a plaque,
I'm
and
still getting those thank yous.
yeah,
That's cool.
they're awesome. And the pictures, and
That livestock auction at the fair, that is just about the coolest event in the valley.
it's huge.
Yeah. You go over there at 8 o'clock, get breakfast.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And I get to see you every year
Yes,
at
ma'am.
breakfast, yeah. So that's
that
all
just makes it
worthwhile.
even better, doesn't it?
Oh, that's the reason for waking up
Oh,
that day.
man.
It's not the auction. It's like I get to go see Chris really early in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we talk about the birds?
No, you want to talk about my birds?
How many birds do you have?
I have
pets?
3 birds.
Or how many
I have-
birds have you?
3 dogs and 3 birds. And
What's the colorful one, that new one?
the big one,
Is it a big one now? It started out
the
as a little
macaw.
one.
So I've got an Amazon, African gray, and a macaw.
Ah, okay.
And the macaw, I've had her for about a year. I actually flew to Florida,
Right.
hung out at Rich Bro and Rich and Liz's
Yeah.
house.
Hi, Rich.
Hi, Rich. And actually flew her home in like a carrier because she was only, what, 3
You were
months
in
old.
an airplane?
Yeah, so,
Okay, that's
but, okay, here's the weird part. So I'm in Orlando, and I've got this macaw, and a 3-month-old macaw is pretty much the size of a full-grown macaw without the long tail feather.
Is he yelling and everything?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
perfectly good, couldn't fly or anything. But, you know, it was, I had never had a macaw, so I'm having to take this bird through airport security, but I can't really handle the bird. And all these people are just looking at me, and it occurred to me that they probably think it's my comfort macaw. Like,
Right.
what other crazy
What's
person
wrong with
is...
her?
Right, this woman's got this giant bird, and luckily on the flight from Orlando to LA, I didn't have anybody in the seat next to me, so...
Lucky guy.
But yeah, so got to bring the bird home, and she's super spoiled, as you know.
Yeah.
My African gray, much like yours, I'll bet, has a vocabulary of about 150 words. So
Mine does.
it's just talking all the time.
Yeah.
Mimicking, talking, screaming. Yeah, so we live in a zoo.
And this bird, the macaw, rolls on his back and plays with a toy.
Super fun. Yeah, when I clean her cage, she goes, oh, cool. So she'll roll on her back, and she chases me down, and yeah, wherever I go, she goes, so. And it was supposed to be my husband's bird.
Yeah.
And but the other two love him, and they don't like me.
They bond.
Yeah.
They find somebody.
Yeah.
Give me a minute on the Planning Commission, Lancaster Planning Commission.
Yeah, I've been on the Planning Commission for, oh gosh, off and on, I'd say, for like 12 years now, and I'm the vice chair. Recently was elected vice chair, working side by side with Jim Bose as the chair. He's awesome.
He's
So
been
yeah,
on the board a long time.
ever since, yeah, he and I were appointed at the same time. But I left for a short time because I was working for the chamber and I didn't want it to be a conflict. So, but yeah, that's a pretty interesting, rewarding, sometimes a little controversial, but it's a great group of people on the Planning Commission. So
Progress is always controversial.
yeah, yeah. But that city staff is top notch, really all of them. So
So you give them a little direction and then it stand back. Hey,
yeah,
Sandy Smith, we got to go.
yeah.
Thanks for being on
Okay.
the show.
I'll come back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is Chris Spiker.
I'm Aaron Goldstein. We are here with Sandy Smith.
Hey, welcome, Sandy.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Aaron.
Just driving around the Antelope Valley on a fun day.
Yeah, I was cruising by. Thought I'd stop by and talk to you for a little while.
Let me guess. You want to talk about Athena?
I do want to talk about Athena.
It's coming up.
It is coming up. It's coming up on March 21st. And right now is the time to nominate a woman that you know that has made a difference in our community. And it's a super easy process. And yeah, I do want to talk about that because we need more women recognized.
You know, I have somebody in mind, but as I told my wife, and not her, it's not her, but
It should be.
nominating somebody just because I've been nominated, and then they make me come up with a bio, and I go, oh man. So I have somebody. How does that process? How is it easy and painless?
You know, Laura Gordon has run this program for quite a while, and she just makes it really easy on you, actually. There's an application that if you were to email, let me look at the email address. I'll find that for you.
Writing's
If
so
you
small.
email Laura,
Yeah.
all you do is fill out a paper just with basic information about the nominee. So if you have someone you want to nominate, very basic information, and then what Laura does is she actually reaches out to the person who's nominated to ask them to fill in the blanks.
See, somebody has to do it.
It's like a Cliff Notes version of a nomination. I think people do tend to get a little bit overwhelmed by that process because it's very time consuming. But it's simple. If you let Laura know who you want to nominate, she's going to ask you for pretty minimal information.
Okay, I just have to make a note here to contact Laura Gordon. How do I
Yeah.
find Laura?
So there's a couple of ways. Her email is ZontaAV Athena. That's ZontaAV Athena @gmail.com. Or you can call or text her at 661-406-4322.
And I bet every once in a while someone is nominated and they decline the nomination.
It's happened a couple of times, yeah. But what we like to see is, 8 to 10, even 12 deserving women, and it's a really nice evening to recognize them. Each woman gets equal time with her nominee, introducing her, talking about her accomplishments, receiving accolades from our local legislators. A really fun evening with a lot of really great people. And so
Now,
even
and-
if you are
and the entry is closed. I mean, no one can come in. It's a private club,
it's at the Hellenic Center,
right?
and the public is invited.
Public is invited.
They are invited. It's $80 a ticket to attend. And it's, people walk away, I think, each year just talking about how inspired they are by that evening and how they didn't realize that all these people were out there doing all these things. So even if you don't receive the trophy at the end of the evening, and they don't call it a winner because it's kind of a cliche, but everyone's really very accomplished. You were nominated.
Yeah.
So, and one person actually will receive that honor. But you know, but again, the evening is really about showcasing all of the women and what they're doing out there in the community.
Amazing stories.
Great stories.
So it sounds kind of like an AV Nice sort of.
It sounds like
event.
you might have to be there with your
Because these are
video.
nice stories, overcoming and success and
Yeah,
all of the above. Families.
absolutely. Yeah. So I would encourage anyone who needs a little inspiration to look into attending. But most of all, I think we really miss a lot of opportunities when we don't just take that 10 minutes to nominate someone that we think is deserving.
Okay.
And they don't have to be someone that you hear about every day or that's doing things to, you know, that are in the newspaper every day. I mean, it could be someone that no one knows. You know, there could be someone that you're very inspired by and you think what they're doing is wonderful. Nominate them. Just nominate them so people can learn more about what they're doing and perhaps maybe even join in with them, you know, helping with their cause.
I don't think very many people do things just to get in the paper or to get notoriety, but sometimes we do things and that's where it ends up.
Yes.
But most people are just fine doing cool things and,
Right.
you know, making somebody happy is all the thanks they need.
Right. And those people, though, you find that you know, there's not a lot of opportunities to really spotlight what they're doing. So this is the chance to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Athena.
Athena.
Zonta. What's Zonta?
Well, Zonta is a women's service club, and it's an international organization. Again, a lot of really great women doing a lot of great work here in the Valley. Walk a Mile in Her Shoes is a Zonta
I never got that one.
event.
Brett, have you ever done that?
I have not.
Okay.
I think you would both look really good.
Aaron?
Aaron, red high heels.
Oh, man.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Well, you know, and I'm sure Laura will listen to this, and she'll be coming after you guys soon. But that's you know, an event that's against domestic violence. And then we've got the Athena Awards. So they're out there doing a lot of great little things. They're also you'd be familiar with this, Chris. They supply the breakfasts for the
Yes.
parades.
Yes.
In Lancaster, and I don't know about Palmdale, but I know that they are always lifesavers, like early in the morning when you head over to the chamber office and you got your coffee and your quiches and
And it's cold.
things like that.
It's cold outside.
Outside?
Warm inside because
Yes.
of the ladies from Zonta.
Absolutely. Yeah, so they're a great bunch, and again, it's kind of one of those things that people go, "Oh, I didn't realize they did all that."
People need to get out and explore this valley.
Right.
The organizations, the businesses, the events, the venues.
Right, because you
There's
tend
a
to get
lot.
you kind of start focusing on your own little world,
Yes, we do.
and you miss a lot of those
Playing
things
with
that
our
are
pets
happening.
at home.
With our birds and our dogs, yeah.
We need, you know, this is real theater. This is real people, real stories
Yeah,
that we know.
right.
And it's live time,
Yeah,
real time.
yeah.
Great fun.
It's awesome. So
How did you get involved in this?
in the Zonta Athena?
Zonta.
Well, actually, I was the Athena recipient in 2017. So I was nominated back at the in 2010 when Jane Fry actually won that year, or she received I shouldn't say won, very deservedly, and then I was nominated again in 2017, where I was actually chosen as the recipient.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. But this year, I do want to mention Jane Fry because they are dedicating the program to her this year. As you know, she lost her battle with cancer a few months ago, and she's dearly missed. But they thought it would be a good opportunity, you know, because she truly was, you know, for all women, very supportive of everyone around her, and you know, I know Laura's really pushing the past recipients and the public to nominate someone in Jane's honor. You know, because Jane liked seeing other people recognized, and she liked kind of that underdog aspect. So there's
Was
another
Jane kind of
reason.
quiet?
Jane was kind of quiet until you got to know her.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Because I'd see her,
she's-
but I don't think we ever talked.
She's pretty awesome. Jane and I were in Rotary together for years, and you know, she was at High Desert Medical Group, so she had a lot of interaction with people through that job. But just such a pure, nice, funny. She was actually when I really learned about her sense of humor, she was a sergeant at arms for our Rotary Club, and you know, you had to be wicked,
Yeah.
like
'Cause they're
wicked
in
funny to
charge
be in
of
that
fining, right?
fining. Yeah,
Sergeant
yeah.
Arms does the fining.
Yeah, so she was from Maine, so they kind of played on her both when she was sergeant at arms and when she was president of the club.
Funny accent.
Funny accent,
Yeah.
lobster. She liked that lobster dinner. So
Oh yeah, the
yeah.
lobster dinner.
So Jane, a good one. Yeah, she's a good one. So we've only had one man in the past. Do you know who that is? Who won the Athena Award that was a man? Do you remember?
Not Bill Hogreef.
No, his wife won though. Susan.
Susan.
Lou Bozigian.
Lou Bozigian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He won them all.
He does it. Yeah.
Yeah,
He did.
won them all. So
Long
he's our
full
one guy.
life.
Very long, full life.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's that guy. My buddy.
He really got things started, didn't he?
He did.
He was a starter.
He was, yeah.
What boards did you serve on with Lou Bozigian?
Well, he actually served on I met Lou, well, probably other ways too, but when I started with the American Cancer Society back in 1997, he was the chair of the ACS Gala. And, yeah, he pretty much served on everything. So, yeah, left a good legacy in many ways.
And some people talk about retiring. I don't think Lou Bozigian,
Never did.
he was always doing something.
Or Ralph. Ralph doesn't either. I saw him at the grocery store, and
Big joint,
Virginia said he's never going to retire. So
whatever that means.
Yeah.
He'll probably still get to travel, right?
I hope so.
He's probably not building anything out in the garage or
I doubt
working
it.
on the stamp collection.
Yeah, gardening. No, I don't know. Yeah.
I
There
see
you
him
go.
out having lunch every once in a while.
Yeah, I see him at the grocery store. That's where we meet up. And at the fairgrounds.
Well, I'm going to have you on again,
Okay.
and we're going to talk about some of your business ventures,
Okay.
maybe a little bit about the fairgrounds and the fun you've had over there.
Yeah.
So once again, how do we get in touch with Laura Gordon to get tickets for the event and to nominate a deserving woman in the Antelope Valley here?
All right. You can email her at Zonta, Zonta, AB Athena, that's all one word, Zonta AB Athena, at gmail.com. Or you can call her or text her at 661-406-4322.
Good. And the event again is
Is March 21st, 5 p.m. at the Hellenic Center.
for the Athena Awards.
$80 per ticket, but nominate. We need more women.
And I would have to think that a good portion of that money goes to some important causes and programs.
Absolutely
that-
supports the Zonta
Zonta
Club and
has.
doing what they do.
Hey, Sandy Smith, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Chris.
You bet.